Hi guys, I thought I would take a few moments out and walk you through the writing assignment in case you're feeling anxious about it. One of the things, this is an academic course, and because it's an academic course, we have to be able to prove that um, you have gained academic knowledge. And because of that, we're doing this writing assignment. But the writing assignment is just what we've been doing all year in class. Um, we're looking at an artwork, we're reading about the artwork, then we're noticing what in the artwork caught our eye, and then we are relating what we've seen to ourselves and our lives. So, um, because it's an academic paper, you have to state your resource. Where did you get the ideas? And our academic resource, well, literally, your academic resource is me, but the academic resource that we're basing it on is Roland Barthes' The Rhetoric of the Image. The Rhetoric of the Image is an essay that he wrote. It's very complex, but basically, he's telling somebody who knows nothing about art how to look at art. And he says, first of all, you find it, you read about it, okay? Then you notice things about it, the color, how it, the composition, okay? And then how does that relate to you? Because if it doesn't relate to you, then it's not art. Remember, what is art? Who decides you do? So if it doesn't relate to you, then it's not art. Does that make sense? That's probably why you see things and go, well, that's art. No, it isn't. Okay? If it doesn't relate to you, it's not art. So let's get started. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your textbook and you're going to look through there and you're going to find a work of art that speaks to you, that relates to you at some level. This is a work of art that I chose. This is the picture I picked. I'm getting my face out of the way so you can actually see it. This is my picture. And what I recommend is you just do a screen capture of the picture and then the caption. The caption will tell you things that you need to know about the picture for your second paragraph or the linguistic message. Then you will look at the chapter and you'll find what it says. If you remember in high school where you wrote out note cards, this is kind of like the same thing. This is a note card that you're going to base your essay on. All right, it talks about the loose brushstrokes and the frantic pace, okay, the energy. It talks about the detail that's in the picture, and it talks about how she's posed and, the way she's sitting in her chair, which may mean something to you. The things that mean the most to me are the loose brushstrokes and at a frantic pace, okay? We learned earlier that these diagonals and this energy is actually transferred into the picture. So even though she's sitting peacefully, it tends to be energetic. Next, we're going to identify vocabulary that goes in relationship to this. All right, first of all, I would say it's abstract because it doesn't look like a photograph, but you might say it's realism. Again, who decides? So I would say the non-coded iconic is a painting, all right, painting is one of our vocabulary words, see right there, of a young woman seated in a chair. It is an abstraction. The line is it is actual line, and it shows the highlights in her shirt and in her clothing. It has chiaroscuro shading of dark to light, especially evidenced in her face and in the chair. Okay, the color scheme, all right, the color scheme is red and green. All right, pink is a tint, all right, of red. So red and green are complementary colors, and complementary colors also give energy. All right, the texture is it is invented texture because it is not actual texture because it is a painting. It's two-dimensional. Let's see what else we can see. It's foreshortened because the things that are closer to you are larger than the things that are further away. We learned it is an oil on canvas, and that aids to the fluidity of what we're looking at. So you're going to go through, there's figure and ground. The woman is the figure, the ground is the wallpaper behind. Okay. We can't talk about volume or mass because those are three-dimensional. Okay. So you go through and you find the definitions. These are only part of your definitions, but that's what you do in that next part. Decoding. To start out our decoding, we look at the picture and what do you notice? Well, first I noticed it was a female. She looks young. She's wealthy. I can tell by the clothes she's wearing and the necklace she has, as well as her hair and the wallpaper and the chair she's sitting in. She has to be wealthy. She is seated, and the predominant color I notice is green. It could be anything that you notice. Maybe she's, she's got light brown hair. Maybe that's going to be what you notice. Then I take those, and this is where the table comes in, 5 things that I noticed and what they make me think of. For females, I think of innocent, demure, and quiet. Youth is life, existence, and progress. Wealth is privilege, prestige, and power. Seated is sedate, still, not moving, or lack of life. Green is life, growth, and movement. What I see in this painting is it's a painting full of contradictions. She's young, but she's still and stationary. And young people we think of as having energy. She is seated, which means she's still, but she's leaning forward like she's about to get up. The lines themselves show energy. The red and green in the background wallpaper, and in her she's got that green ribbon around her neck and her coloration is pinkish. So it's saying that this is a still, it's saying it's still, but it's energetic at the same time. That's your coded iconic. Here we have your writing assignment itself. This is kind of like a little template. This is by no means what you should write word for word, but this gives you a general idea of how your essay should start. So, written assignment, you'll put your name, Art 100, Spring. In this essay, and the artist's name, let me see if I can call it, wrong one. Marcet, I believe. Berceau, I think it's Marcet. I don't know. Berceau. All right, work entitled, whatever the title is, we're just going to call it Young Woman Seated. Will be discussed using Roland Barthes' rhetoric of the image. Here we are stating our academic resource right at the top. Just like in another essay, you would put a bio. This, you're stating your academic source. I'm back. All right. So this is not to be captured word for word. This just gives you an idea. All right. The essay breaks down the three basic categories: the linguistic, the non-coded, and the coded iconic. And then you're telling why this happens. And basically, in your own words, you're going to say that art is the decision of the viewer. And the viewer makes this decision by seeing colors, patterns, and then they make that association. The next paragraph is the linguistic message. In that paragraph, you're going to say what the linguistic message is. And it says usually this is found in the caption or label. In Marceau's work, the caption reads, and you can quote it. And then you could write whatever else you wanted to write about it that you may have learned in the paragraphs. The non-coded iconic is what you see when you look. You're telling the reader what that is. And then you're going to tell them what you noticed first. All right. For me, I always notice the colors first. And I tell why the colors are important. Like I told you, they were complementary. And I told you complementary colors of red and green give energy to a picture. You can talk about the balance. The balance in that picture is asymmetrical. Asymmetrical balance, again, creates interest in the viewer. The artist uses implied or actual. They use actual line in the highlights in her blouse. Of course, the texture, all right, that was used is, and I should have changed that word, it should be implied, or what, wait, visual texture. Yeah, visual texture is right. Because the painting because it is a painting, all right? It is two-dimensional, so it has the illusion of space. The unity is achieved by the repetition of colors, of quality of line, of brushstrokes. Whereas variety is seen in the different, and tell me what you see in the different values. Emphasis is on the young girl. But the focal point is, what do you think that focal point is? Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. So you go through, then your table. Your table, what you see goes on one side, what color, what subject. You know, I said green, you could say red too would be another one. The subject's young girl. You know, people, what kind, roses, all right? Roses are about love. So all of those things, and then what does that call? And that's what you write in here. First, you talk about what those mean, and then tell what the purpose is. I'm going to scoot this over so you can see a little bit better. All right, there you go. Conclusion simply restates the introduction. So Marcet's work named Young Girl, whatever the title is, was discussed using Roland Barthes' essay, Rhetoric of the Image. That examines the act of looking, the reader, and you'll go back. See, you're saying the same things up here, but you say you did them in this one. This writer shared their own distinct perspective, and I hope you see it. I hope I hope this helps you in writing the essay. If you'd like me to proof it before you submit it, send it to me before Sunday so I have enough chance to read it and get it back to you. Talk to you later.